The night Marcus walked into the softly lit school hallway, carrying the weight of a long day and the quiet hopes he held for his 8-year-old son, he never imagined his past would be standing there waiting for him. Life had already taught him enough about loss and survival. He believed surprises belonged only in movies, not in the bruised chapters of a single father's life. But the moment he saw her, Elena Hart, the woman who once held his entire world in her smile, standing near the classroom door, everything inside him froze. It felt like the universe deliberately stopped time just to force him to face a truth he had buried years ago. Some loves don't fade, they simply learn to breathe quietly. If you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and brings more stories to you. Marcus had not seen Elena in nearly a decade. Back then, he was a struggling mechanic with big dreams and a bigger heart, and she was the daughter of a wealthy businessman who didn't believe a boy from the wrong side of town deserved her. Their breakup had been brutal but inevitable, and Marcus carried the ache through the years like a scar stitched too deep to heal. After losing his wife during childbirth, his life became a series of responsibilities and silent heartbreaks. All he wanted was to be a good father to Noah, the little boy who made every sacrifice worth it. Tonight was parent-teacher night, something Marcus always looked forward to, because it allowed him to feel like he was doing at least one thing right. The hallway buzzed with conversations, children tugging at parents, teachers smiling softly. Yet none of it felt real, not when his heart thudded against his ribs as Elena turned and met his eyes. She looked different, older, stronger, wrapped in a graceful confidence that came from years of success. But her eyes were still the same. Warm. Familiar. And suddenly full of something he couldn't name. He tried to walk past her, pretending he didn't feel the ground shaking under his feet. But Elena stepped toward him with a gentleness that almost broke him. She looked at Noah, who stood shyly behind Marcus, and her expression softened in a way Marcus had not seen since she had once looked at him under the summer sky of their youth. As they entered the classroom, Marcus kept reminding himself that she did not belong in his world anymore. She was now a powerful CEO, a woman who built empires while he balanced bills and bedtime stories. Their realities were galaxies apart. But fate doesn't follow logic, and sometimes the universe has its own quiet way of weaving two souls back into the same thread. Throughout the teacher's explanation, Marcus struggled to focus. He noticed how Elena paid attention to everything Noah said, how her eyes lit up when the little boy proudly showed his artwork. Noah, who never warmed up easily to strangers, seemed naturally drawn to her, as if something about her presence felt safe. Marcus watched silently, feeling an ache of longing mixed with guilt. He had no right to want anything more than this moment. When the evening ended and parents began leaving, Marcus prepared himself to slip away unnoticed. But Elena stopped him gently and asked if they could talk. He wanted to say no. He wanted to protect his heart from old wounds reopening. But her voice held a trembling he had never heard from her before, and it disarmed him completely. They stepped outside near the dim parking lot, where the night breeze carried echoes of memories he had long tried to forget. Elena told him she had returned to town only recently, taking over her family's company after her father's passing. She spoke of regret, of moments she wished she could rewrite, of dreams she let slip through her fingers because she was too afraid to fight for the boy she loved. Marcus listened silently, trying to steady the storm inside him. He told her about Noah, about the nights he stayed awake worrying if he was enough, about the love he lost, the life he rebuilt from scratch. As he spoke, he noticed something unexpected in her expression, not pity, not guilt, but admiration. Deep, genuine admiration for the man he became through his pain. The connection between them, once severed by fear and circumstance, flickered again, fragile but unmistakably alive. Over the next few weeks, Elena found excuses to visit Noah's class, to check on school projects, to offer help on events. Marcus tried to keep his distance, but Noah adored her. And soon, Marcus found himself drawn to the way she brought warmth back into the spaces of his life that had gone quiet. Yet he still held back, afraid this was temporary, afraid he would crumble if she left again. But fate had one more truth to reveal: Elena had never stopped loving him. And she was done running. One evening, after a school fundraiser, she walked up to Marcus as he packed leftover supplies. Her voice shook as she told him she wasn't there for business or charity, she was there because she wanted to be part of his life again. She wanted to be there for Noah. And she wanted the chance to love Marcus the way she should have years ago. Marcus felt the ground shift beneath him. For years, he survived by convincing himself that love had no place in his life anymore. But seeing Elena standing there, vulnerable and sincere, he realized something he never expected: maybe love didn't abandon him. Maybe it waited, until he was strong enough to accept it again. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these emotional stories alive.